Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm SRIKANT SIR and students. Today, it was a really very big day for all of you, and I hope the paper was as per your expectations. So, students, like after looking at the paper, what I can speak for this paper is that this paper is almost moderately difficult. I won't say that it was the debacle of 2023. Okay. The paper was at that time, the paper was really, it seems like UPSC has clearly decided that we don't want anyone who's scoring above 75 or 80. This time, what I have seen, the things were asked in a very prompt manner. And one of the most important aspects that we have seen, that there was an appropriate mix of the questions that were asked from the static portion as well as from the current affairs. Okay. Now, if you had a clear understanding, if you people have studied thoroughly, if you students have prepared quite well, then I don't think the paper was difficult at all. But this is the case for those who have prepared well for your examination. Okay. Now, students, this was pertaining to how exactly the difficulty level of the examination was. Okay, we will be coming up with the cutoff figures. Okay, once we have collected we have a good sample size, we will come across a few students as well. But if you'll ask me, this paper was moderately difficult. Okay, I won't say it was extremely difficult. The paper was really doable, and I'm sure that if you have prepared well, if you have prepared sincerely for your examination, then I'm sure you guys are writing the mains this year. Okay, so students, without taking your further time, I will be starting with the current affairs segment. Okay, now current affairs segment, we had quite a good questions, and as we have discussed many of such questions, many of such topics in the Current Connect magazine as well. Okay, so we will be coming up with all those questions. Now, I have right now set D with me. So I will be taking questions one by one from the paper, directly from the paper, right? So let's start. I'll be sharing my screen with you all. Okay, students. So the first question that we will be taking here is question number 12 from set D. The question is, India is one of the founding members of the INSTC, that is International North-South Transport Corridor, a multimodal transportation corridor which will connect. Okay, now you have all the options here, right? Now, number one, the first thing that has been, you have to understand here is what exactly INSTC is, right? What exactly INSTC is. So INSTC, you might have heard it many times in your classes as well. Okay, sometimes people say that it is India's response, okay, to the China's One Belt initiative. Similarly, you have various other aspects that you have to see or that you must have come across INSTC. Now, so INSTC, it was introduced in the year 2000, and it's a 7,200 kilometer multimodal transportation route that would be connecting Indian Ocean and the Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea. And the countries involved here, okay, it would be happening via Iran and then to the Northern Europe via St. Petersburg in Russia. So there are three countries that are involved, okay? On concept, you have number one, India, number two, Iran, number three is Russia, okay? Okay, so India has, in fact, INSTC has also expanded its membership to various countries. So, okay, such as Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Ukraine, Syria, Oman, Belarus, etc. Right? So, the correct answer for this particular question would be option number A. That is India to Central Asia to Europe via Iran. Okay, why am I saying it? Because you already have offered the membership to Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. So that makes the part of Central Asia. Okay. The second option is incorrect here. India to Central Asia via China. No. Okay. China is not involved here. India to Southeast Asia. Not at all. India to Europe through Azerbaijan. All right. Now, the better appropriate, okay, the most appropriate explanation would be what? India to Central Asia to Europe via Iran. That's the correct approach because all of the parties have been included here, right? So this was question number 12. Coming on to question number 13. And now this is, again, quite in news last year. So what does the statement number 1 says? Okay. Of the two major ethanol producers in the world, that is Brazil and United States of America, the former produces more ethanol than the latter. The second statement, unlike in the United States of America, where corn is the principal feedstock for ethanol production, sugarcane is the principal feedstock for ethanol production in Brazil. Now, first of all, you have to see that what exactly is the requirement. You know, you have to be very careful what the statement is saying. You have to see it, you have to understand it. Okay, so we will elaborate both the sentences, right? Both the statements. So, first of all, who are the top 5 ethanol producers in the world? Okay, now if you have that list remembered, so it would be good. I'll just tell what all countries, okay, are top 5. So first you have USA, United States of America. Number 2 is Brazil. Number 3, India. Number 4, not a country, but a union, that's European Union. Number 5 is China. Okay, then let's come on to statement number 1. Of the 2 major ethanol producers in the world, Brazil and the United States of America, the former produces more ethanol than later. Former, that is the country mentioned first, and latter, that is country that is mentioned second or later of the 2 things that have been asked. Okay, so what does it say? The former produces more ethanol, that is Brazil produces more ethanol than United States of America. Is it correct? No. Why? Because the top 5 countries that you have, number 1 is USA, number 2 is Brazil. So obviously the first statement goes absolutely incorrect. Second statement, unlike in the United States of America, where corn is the principal feedstock for ethanol production, sugarcane is the principal feedstock for ethanol production in Brazil. Now, students, if you know it, you know, I'm talking about the colonial history. Okay, remember colonial history, the Caribbean islands, the Southern American parts, what used to be one of the most important. Okay, in fact, when we were discussing, you must have heard it in history as well, indentured laborers. So indentured laborers, they were taken from India to all these places, all these Caribbean islands. Okay, and what exactly was the primary cultivation that was being performed? It used to be sugarcane at that particular point of time. Okay, so sugarcane definitely is one of the most common produce of the South American continent. The South American continent reflects what? Brazil. The first one with reference to America, okay, that is corn. Yes, it's absolutely perfect, right? So now let's come on to what exactly is being asked here. Which of the following statement is correct in respect of the above statement? Now, statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. So, statement 1 is not correct, but statement 2 is correct. That is, option D comes to be our perfect correct answer. Okay, perfectly correct answer. Let's come on to the next question that has been asked from this particular segment. Okay, you have question number 19 here. Consider the following countries. Okay, United Arab Emirates, France, Germany, Singapore, Bangladesh. How many countries amongst the above are there other than India, where international merchant payments are accepted under UPI? Okay, UPI has been a lot in the news. In fact, if you remember, last year, Republic Day 2024, the chief guest was from France, okay, Emmanuel Macron. And he came, and there were a few pictures where he and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they went to buy something, okay, and the payment was made by the French dignitary using the UPI payment, okay. In fact, this payment pattern got started, first payment pattern got started in 2023. It was near the Eiffel Tower, and the partner there, partner in France was Lyra. Okay, so you have this particular questions that how many countries other than India, okay, where this exact pattern is being followed. So students, as of now, other than India, there are 7 countries where the UPI payments, okay, where the international merchant payments are accepted under UPI. So you have number 1, UAE, United Arab Emirates. It was introduced last year on 13th Feb 2024. This was during the inauguration, during the time when the Babs temple, okay, the biggest Hindu temple in the world, the Babs temple was inaugurated. This service was started in UAE at that particular point of time. France, I have already told you. You have Singapore. Singapore also launched the same services in 2023. The partners there are UPI from India and PayNow from Singapore. Okay. Overall, 7 countries are there. So UAE, France, and Singapore. Other than that, you have Bhutan, you have Mauritius, you have Nepal, and you have Sri Lanka. Okay. So the correct answer, that means excluding Germany and Bangladesh, you do not have any other. You have the remaining countries as the ones that accept the UPI pattern. Okay. So what would be the correct answer here? How many countries? Only 3 would be the appropriate answer. Okay. Okay. Now, students, in question number 20, okay, I won't be saying that we would be providing exact information here because there is some slight, you can say there are a few issues that we have to see pertaining to this, because I have also figured out the website of PIB, but I was not able to find out exact, because UPSC plays with words. UPSC, I will show you one question here where they have there is a difference between just and fair. Okay, so I would be talking to you about that, but still we can discuss this question. This is about the Prime Minister Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Okay, India's initiative in order to boost the use of solar energy. It targets installation of 1 crore solar rooftop panels in the residential sector. Now, first of all, you have to see when exactly this Yojana was launched. So it was launched last year, February 2024. The objective, the target is to ensure 1 crore installations by March 2027. Okay, and that's the target. And the objective is to save at least 75,000 crores annually in electricity costs. Okay, now let's come on to the first statement. Targets installation of 1 crore solar rooftops. Yes, absolutely correct. Okay. Coming on to the statement number 3, it aims to create more than 3 lakh skilled manpower. Okay, through fresh skilling and upskilling under scheme component of capacity building. Now, here in the PIB, it is mentioned 17 lakh direct jobs. Okay. Now, I have been finding out that, okay, anywhere if I can find out skilled manpower, because I have told you every word matters, right? And same is the case with the initiative is taken by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. But again, imparting training, we are not able to find out exact word to word thing that has been mentioned here. So we are dropping this question as of now, right? Once we have the correct answer, we will be providing it in the answer. Okay. Now, next, students. Okay, this one. This is question number 21. Okay. Consider the following statements. Some rare earth elements are used in the manufacturing of flat television screens and computer monitors. Okay, statement number 1. Statement number 2, some rare earth elements have phosphorescent properties. Now, sabse pehle, what exactly do you understand? What exactly do you mean by the rare earth element? Now, rare earth element, they are set of 17 metallic elements. Okay, that includes 15 lanthanide. You must have seen the periodic table in chemistry classes. Okay, so you have the regular periodic table, and beneath it, there are 2 sets. The first set is written as lanthanide, and the second set is written as the actinide. Okay, the actinides were the radioactive ones, whereas the lanthanides. Okay, so you have 15 lanthanides starting from cerium to lutetium, along with scandium and ytterium. So that makes it total of 17. 15 lanthanides plus 2 scandium and ytterium. Okay, they are called rare earths because initially they were difficult to extract and separate from their oxide forms. Now, let's come on to Are they used in the manufacturing of flat TV screens and computer monitors? Absolutely yes. Okay, because they are responsible for the production of phosphors. Now, phosphors are fluorescent substance that emits light when it is exposed to some kind of radiant energy. Okay, now primarily you have europium, you have yttrium, okay, as the key components that are responsible for producing red color. Okay, europium is primarily responsible for producing blue color, and terbium is responsible for producing the green color, right? So now with that, we have both the statements clear. Some rare earths element have phosphorescent properties. Absolutely, I have given you the example as well. So which one of the following is correct in respect to the above statement? Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement second, it gives a clear-cut explanation of statement 1. That means option A here is the right answer. Okay, now coming on to question number 23. Now students, if you remember the year 2023, there were a few rail accidents, and at that particular point of time, everybody was under a lot of scrutiny. And we have been hearing about the Kavach automatic train protection system and various other things. So what exactly it is, we will just comment. Indian Railways have prepared a national rail plan, NRP, to create a future-ready railway system by 2028. Now, this one national rail plan is absolutely correct. Okay, to create a future-ready railway system. But is it by 2028? No, it's not by 2028. It's by 2030. So this initiative, it was introduced, the National Rail Plan was introduced in 2022 with the target year being 2030, right? So first statement is incorrect. It's not 2028. Number 2, Kavach is an automatic train protection system developed in collaboration with Germany. The first part of this statement, automatic train protection system, absolutely correct. Developed in collaboration with Germany? No, it's developed indigenously. Okay. Now it is developed by RDSO, okay, Research, Design and Standard Organization, along with Medha servo drives, Carnex microsystem, and HBL power systems. Germany has no role to play here. It's an indigenous system, totally developed in India. That means statement number 2 again is also incorrect. Cover system consists of RFID tags fitted on tracks in station section. Now, first of all, what exactly RFID is? RFID, radio frequency identification. Okay, radio frequency identification. Are the cover systems equipped with it? Yes, absolutely. They are totally equipped with it. Okay. There is one more thing that you should know. This cover system, that's automatic train protection system. Initially, it was called as train collision avoidance system. Okay, the Railway Ministry adopted the Kavach system in the year 2020. So now you have statement number 1 incorrect, statement number 2 incorrect. Only statement number 3 is right here. So which of the statements given above are not correct? So obviously statement number 1 and statement number 2. That makes option number A as your right answer. Okay, so going further. Okay, now you have another quite a good question here. Question number 30, set number D. Which organization has enacted the Nature Restoration Law to tackle climate change and biodiversity loss? The European Union, the World Bank, OECD, and the fourth option is Food and Agricultural Organization. Okay, now this is primarily, so students, if you have heard of the 30 by 30 initiatives, okay, 30 by 30 initiative, GBFF, okay, the Kunming Montreal, if you remember it well. So you will find the description of this law, which was posted, which was quoted by the European Union. The correct answer is European Union. Okay, it's a piece of legislation that is aimed at restoring the degraded ecosystem across the European Union. They have set legally binding target for restoring at least 20% of European Union's land and sea by the year 2030. Okay, 2030 get reference to it. So you have option number A, the European Union, as your right answer. Now moving on to the next question. Okay, then directly we have question number 40 here. Okay, now question number 40. Consider the following activities: production of crude oil, refining, storage, distribution of petroleum. Statement number 3. marketing and sale of petroleum products, and 4, you have production of natural gas. How many of the above activity are regulated by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board in our country? Okay, now you have these 4 activities that are present here. PNGRB. Okay, now what exactly is its role? Now its role is involved pertaining to refinery, processing, storing, transportation, distribution, marketing, sale of petroleum-based products and natural gas. But the PNGRB is not at all associated with the production of crude oil and the production of natural gas here, right? So the correct answer would be what? You can ignore activity number 1. You can ignore activity number 4. So the activities that are involved with PNGRB are 2 and 3. So how many activities are correct here? Only 2. That is option B is your right answer. Okay, next. Question number 42. BIMSTEC, an alternative of SARC in the recent times. BIMSTEC, very important, okay? Regional cooperation. India is focusing a lot with the various initiatives. You have the Sagar initiative, security and growth for all in the region. You have the BIMSTEC. Initially, it used to be SARC, but post Uri attacks, okay, in the year 2016, India has outrightly cut off Pakistan from everywhere. So BIMSTEC is an alternative, is a better alternative that India has actually eyed upon, right? So it's a regional organization consisting of 7 members, 7 member states till January 2025. So till January 2025, how many number of states were there? There were 7. Even now, there are 7, but we are following the language of the question strictly. So 7 states, yes, absolutely. You have 7 member states. It came into existence with the signing of the Dhaka Declaration 1999. Now, majority of the students must have thought that, okay, the headquarters of BIMSTEC are located in Dhaka. So I think it would have been Dhaka Declaration. But no, it's not Dhaka Declaration. And the year is not 1999. It came into existence in the year 1997 under the name BISTEC. Okay, BISTEC. That is Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation. So it was Bangkok Declaration and it was not Dhaka Declaration. The year was 1997. It was not 1999. Okay. Statement number 3. Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Nepal are the founding members. First 4 are absolutely perfect. Nepal, no. Nepal was not the founding members. Instead, Nepal was one of the last members to join BIMSTEC in the year 2004. That means statement number 3 is also incorrect. In BIMSTEC, the subsector of tourism is being led by India. You know, there are various subsectors that are present. Okay, there are various subsectors and various roles have been provided to all of these countries. So when we are talking about the subsector, what are the various subsectors that are being led by India? So Indian subsectors are: number 1, you have the counterterrorism; number 2, you have the transnational crime; number 3, you have disaster management; number 4, you have energy. Okay, so primarily these are the 4 subsectors that are led by India, whereas the tourism subsector, it is led by Nepal. Okay, so which of the following statements given above are correct here? Okay, so you have to see what all statements are correct. Statement number 1, absolutely correct. Number 2, incorrect. Number 3, incorrect. Number 4 is incorrect. That means option D here is your right answer. Okay, fine. Who amongst the following are the members of the jury to select the recipient of the Gandhi Peace Prize? Gandhi Peace Prize, prestigious award. Okay, now you have the Prime Minister of India leading the jury, along with 2 ex officio members. Now, those 2 ex officio members, number 1 is Chief Justice of India, and number 2, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. The last time in 2021, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, along with 1 more parliamentarian, also joined the jury panel. So here, apart from the president, that is from option number, you have second statement, third statement, and fourth statement. Okay, so all the second, third, and fourth code, they are absolutely correct. The President of India is not involved in the jury. That means the correct answer would be option number C here. Second, third, and fourth. Okay. Now, the next question you have here is from, again, this is quite important. Okay. We have discussed this question. So consider the following statements regarding the AI Action Summit held in Grand Palais, Paris in February 2025 this year. Okay, very important. AI is everywhere. AI is in news. So in fact, while we were discussing this question from the this particular topic from Current Connect, we discussed that AI is the next big thing. And definitely in time to come, in future, there would be n number of questions that would be featuring from this particular segment. So statement number one, co-chaired with India, the event builds on the advances made at the Bletchley Park Summit held in 2023 and the Seoul Summit held in 2024. Yes, absolutely. In fact, next year, it would be India that would be chairing it, right? So the statement one is absolutely correct. Along with the other countries, United States and the United Kingdom also signed the Declaration on Inclusive and Sustainable AI. Now, you know, the Declaration on Inclusive and Sustainable AI was introduced and a total of 58 countries have signed it. But to your surprise, United States and United Kingdom have refused to sign it. Okay, so statement one is incorrect. Statement two is incorrect here. Statement one is absolutely perfect. So which of the following statements given below are correct? Only statement one. Only statement one. Right? Okay. Now you have the next question, question number 46. A lot of news. Okay. Let's see. Consider the following pairs. How many of the pairs given above are correctly matched? International Year of the Women Farmer 2026. Absolutely correct. International Year of Sustainable and Resilient Tourism 2027. International Year of Peace and Trust proposed by, it was an initiative that was taken by Turkmenistan. And the year is 2025. International Year of Asteroid Awareness and Planetary Defense, again 2029. So you have all the four correct matches. Okay, that means option B here would be your right answer. Okay. Now you have question number 47. Okay, now this was quite surprising, and I'm really very surprised to see this question. Now consider the following statements with regards to BRICS. Now BRICS Summit happened November 2024. It was the BRICS Summit. Okay, it was right before the BRICS Summit when China proposed a peace plan before India. Okay, Depsang, Demchok. Okay, all these territories, there were a few agreements that were made between both India and China, and it was right before this 16th BRICS Summit. So let's see. The 16th BRICS Summit was held under the chairship of Russia in Kazan. So yes, the 16th summit happened where? At Kazan. Okay. Indonesia has become a full-time member of BRICS. Remember, Indonesia joined BRICS as the full-time member, becoming the 10th member of BRICS in January 2025. So this is also correct here because there is no timeline that is mentioned here. Okay, so I am taking it as correct. The theme of the 16th BRICS Summit was strengthening multiculturalism. Okay, strengthening multiculturalism for just global development and security. For just global development and security. Now, you know, it's not just, it's fair global development and security. Okay, it's fair. So which of the following statements? So you can see, rather than for just, it has to be fair. Okay, so you have statement number one correct, statement number two correct. That means option A here is your right answer. Okay, now coming on to the next question, you have question number 49. Again, the first ever Kho-Kho World Cup. Okay, there were a number of advertisement in Delhi. Okay, because Delhi was hosting it. So consider the following statements in respect of the first Kho-Kho World Cup. The event was held in Delhi, India. Yes, it happened in India. I think it was the month of February 2025. Indian men beat Nepal with a score of 78-40 in the final to become the world champion in men's category. Okay. Indian women beat Nepal with a score of 54-36 in the final to become the world champion in the women's category. See, partially the statement, both the statements are correct. Indian men, they defeated Nepal, absolutely correct. With a score of 78-40? No. The score line in the men's category was 54-36. Okay. The Indian men defeated Nepal with a score line of 54-36. Indian women beat Nepal. Yes, they defeated Indian women. They also defeated Nepal. And here the score line was 78-40. So what they have done is one part is correct and one part they have just interchanged. That means both the statement 2 and statement 3 are incorrect. So what would be the most appropriate answer here? Statement number 1. Which of the following statement given above is correct? Only one. Okay, next one. Now, consider the following statements. In the final of the 45th Chess Olympiad held in 2024, Gukesh Domaraju became the world's youngest winner after defeating the Russian player Ian Nepomniachtchi. Okay. Now, the final was played between India and Slovenia. Okay. 45th Chess Olympiad, the final was played between India and Slovenia. So it was not Russia. So here the statement is incorrect. Okay. And moreover, the individual victory, the fight victory that Gukesh had, okay, the fight victory Gukesh had, the world champion, it was when he defeated Dan Levin. Yeah. Ding Levin. Okay. The Chinese. Right. Second statement. So first statement is incorrect here. Abhimanyu Mishra, an American chess player, holds the record of becoming the world's youngest ever grandmaster. Yes, Abhimanyu Mishra, an American chess player, has become the youngest grandmaster at the age of 12 years and 4 months. Okay. So which of the following statements given above are correct? Only statement number 2. That is B. B is your right answer here. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Now, with reference to the critical minerals. Okay. Critical minerals, a lot. For the first time it was introduced, the list was introduced in the year 2023. So, consider the following statements. India has joined the Mineral Security Partnership as a member. Okay. Mineral Security Partnership. Mineral Security Partnership, this group, it comprises of a total of 14 members. That includes 13 countries and one group, that is European Union. Okay. So, is India a member? Yes, India is a member of it. In fact, India is the only developing country to join the Mineral Security Partnership as a member. Right. Number 2, India is a resource-rich country in all the 30 critical minerals that it has identified. Okay, that it has identified. You have this provision here. Now, I will be saying that the second statement is incorrect. Okay, it's not resource rich. It has the availability, but nowhere we are not able to figure out. We are not able to find out that we have a tremendous presence. Is absolutely correct. Okay, we have all these 30 critical minerals, but do we have rich sources? Because again, what exactly UPSC is trying to do here? They're just trying to play with the words here. So, if you will take my opinion, I would say it's not rich, but do we have the presence of all 30? Yes. Okay. The third statement, the Parliament in 2023 has amended the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957, empowering the central government to exclusively auction mining lease and composite license for certain critical minerals. Have we done that? Absolutely. We have done. So if you will take my answer would be statement number 1 and statement number 3 as the correct answer, right? But again, students, please remember, I am not giving statement 2 as correct. Why? Because I am following the statement properly. I am discussing, I'm taking that idea. Richness means abundance. Okay? Richness, according to me, means abundance, right? So 1 and 3 are absolutely correct. Statement number 2 has no problem, but The only problem is pertaining to its understanding. That's why I'm not mentioning statement number 2 as my correct answer. Okay. Now, next question that you have, okay. Consider the following countries. Question number 61. How many of the above members are the members of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization? NATO, guys, created in the year 1949. Present strength is how much? 32. 32 countries are there. So you have all these 6 countries. Let's see. Is Austria a member? No, Austria is not a member. In fact, when you go to the NATO website, they have all of these names mentioned in the alphabetical order. So the only country whose name starting with A is Albania. Okay. So you don't have Austria there. Do you have Bulgaria? Absolutely. Croatia? Yes. Serbia? No. Serbia hasn't joined NATO. Sweden? Yes. North Macedonia? Yes. Okay. So how many countries you have? 4 countries. Only B. Oh, sorry. Yes, only 4. That's option B as your correct answer. Okay. Fine. So now we don't have, okay, we have 2 more questions, I think. Yes, we have 2 more questions, 95 and 96. Okay. Yes. We have question number 95. Which one of the following launched the Nature Solution Finance Hub for Asia and the Pacific? Okay. Now, this initiative was launched by the Asian Development Bank in the year 2023, and it was launched in partnership with the Global Environment Facility. Okay. So, very simple question, directly asked question here. 96. Okay. With reference to direct air capture. Okay, direct air capture. Now, students, if you are studying, if you're going through your magazines well, so you must have come across this particular word, mammoth carbon capture plant. Okay, mammoth carbon capture plants. So this direct air capture, an emerging technology, which of the following statements is or are correct? It can be used as a way of carbon sequestration. Yes, absolutely, it can be used for it. Okay. The first one is absolutely correct. It's, in fact, it's a way of mitigating the carbon emissions. The first one was launched in Iceland, this mammoth plant that I'm talking about. It can be a valuable approach for plastic production and in food processing. You know, captured carbon dioxide, it can be used as a building block for plastics, various type of plastics such as PET, polyethylene terephthalate. Okay, so plastic production, absolutely. In aviation, it can be a source of carbon for combining with hydrogen to create synthetic low carbon fuel. Again, yes, in aviation it can be used. It can be used once combined with hydrogen. Okay, and we can create synthetic low carbon fuel. So select the correct answer using the code given below. So you have C, 1, 2, 3, all the 3 statements are correct here, right? So students, this was with reference to the current affairs segment, all the questions that were asked here. I hope we have provided an absolute accurate data, okay? Right? So, hoping you all the best and best wishes for your examination, guys. Best wishes with results.